Well, with that said, let's start tonight's show. And I want to start that off with S-scale modeling. The sponsor for this segment of our show is the National Association of S-Gauges. And if we could run that video, please.
Are you looking for something a little different in your model railroading? The National Association of S-Gaugers suggests you take a look at S-Scale. An S-Scale model is just 36% longer than an HO model, but it's 2.5 times the volume. The larger size translates to increased ease of maintenance, more durable details, and improved electrical and mechanical reliability. S-Scale modelers use accurately proportioned wheels and track systems with KD-style couplers. Exceptional S-scale models and layouts are being built in both standard and narrow gauge. Locomotives and rolling stock are available from a number of manufacturers in both ready-to-run and kit form. Equipment is available both new and through an active secondary market. There are numerous manufacturers of track, buildings, vehicles, and details, both ready-to-run and in kit form, available for those who love to build. And many S modelers enjoy kit bashing and scratch building in the larger size S offers. To learn more, visit the website of the National Association of S-Gaugers. Here you will find the history of the scale, information about clubs in your area, see layouts and connect with current manufacturers and online groups, plus much more. In short, the website has everything you'll need to explore model railroading in S-scale today. Come on board and visit soon.
And now I want to introduce the host for this segment of our show, Jamie Bothwell. Jamie, welcome.
Hi. Let's see. So today I thought I would show you, I was up at a train show in Ontario a couple weeks ago, and I thought I'd give you a little tour of what some of the S-scale people up there are doing. So if I could share my screen here. The Canadian S-scale workshop, of which I am a member, set up our display. We have a Fremo module, so we can, whoever wants to show up, we can arrange the layout to fit whatever space they allot us, and we can organize it. And so the modules are all somewhat interchangeable. You're, as long as your end of yours matches up with the standard, you're good to go. So you can do whatever you want in whatever section you have. We were up in Lindsay, Ontario in early April of 2024. And let's see. So here's Jim Martin flying the flag for the NASG. You can see here on the table, this is an award we won. I think this one was the Springfield Train Show, and one of them was the Train Fest in Milwaukee. I don't know whichever one's which. I don't remember. But they won best layout there. So obviously it's a pretty nice layout. That's most of the layout behind Jim there. This view is taken from the upstairs looking out the window. That's, you can see our layout. What I really like about this show, I've been a couple of times now, is that it's really, if you notice, there's a lot of layouts going on. It's really more about layouts than it is about buying and selling, whereas a lot of shows, it's, mostly buying and selling. But anyway, this is our layout. You can see it's a pretty big configuration. So it's like a loop-to-loop here. And, various pieces made by the various members. So... And, it's a fairly well detailed. We always draw a crowd, so people like to come and watch us run our trains. This is Jeff English's module. Jeff lives in Troy, New York, and I believe this is Simone Perrant's locomotive and cars running across Jeff's module. Again, Simone's trains running across what I believe are Simone's modules. There's a nice truss bridge there. There's another one. That's Annie Millet's Pacific running across Simone's modules. That truss bridge was available as a brass item. Probably still pick them up on the used market here and there. There again, Andy's Pacific coming around a corner. That's Simone's 210-2, and it is currently on John Johnson's modules. John has a very nice set of 3 modules that kind of work their way onto a curve and over this bridge here that he completely scratch built. And then there's a bit of a farm scene. Not that farm scene, though. That's Simone's. Notice the very nice 3D printed cows. Simone was not happy with the offerings available, so he printed up his own 3D cow. There's a crossing a small trestle. Again, Simone's 282s, or sorry, 210-2s. Of course, Canadian S-scale workshop, it probably makes sense. Most of them are they model Canadian stuff. Canadian National, very popular. So most of the guys are Canadian National fans. So this is a car that Jeff English kit bashed. Jeff English is very much into freight cars. Jeff got into S-Scale because he felt that it was easier to show the details. All this work he was doing with these freight cars in HO, it was hard to see those little detail differences. So he got into S so the cars would be just a little bit bigger. And we welcomed him with open arms. He's a good guy. So this is Andy Millet's famous brewery module. You can see the ice. Well, actually, this is the ice house. The brewery, I guess, is on the next module over, but you can see this is a kit for a 8-hatch steel reefer that Andy produced. This is a S Helper car. Again, Scale Trains. Scale Trains now has these dies. I don't know if they'll ever produce any more reefers, but they do have them. So. And I don't know if you can see in the back here, but here's something that S has that HO just does not have, at least that I know of, is that we have S-Scale zombies. So check them out. They're just perfect S-Scale zombies. So, and here's actually my module. So this is there. I should have saved this for next week. I could have put it in the water course, although my water's a little shady. I got to do some work on my module. So this is Simone's train running across my layout, my piece of the layout. And now, if you're familiar with Fremo, they don't put up backdrops. So what we do is we carry some backdrops around with us and put them up behind the layout to take photos. So if you saw in some of the pictures, like the pictures of Jeff's module, which is actually right next door to mine, if you took a close look at it, you would notice that the same trees have sort of migrated to the west there, that they're now behind my module instead of Jeff's. So. Anyway, but it's completely scratch built bridge. And isn't this what we do it for, huh? The kids there love it. So it's just fun to see the look on their faces when they're looking. And the adults too, we get a lot of people that like I say, this show is really primarily geared toward people who just sort of wandering off the street and take a look at the train. So it's all kind of fun. So I had a lot of fun at the Lindsay show. So there's the whole crew. So that's Simone Perrant, that's Jeff English, Paul Ram, that's myself, that's John Johnson, that's Jim Martin, and then that Andy Millet at the end. So most of these folks you could come say hi to at Harrisburg this summer if you were so inclined, although we will not have the layout up. So, and of course, on the way home, Jeff and I stopped to see the eclipse. So that was even fun. That was fun also. So that building that you can see in the background is the train station in, what was the name of that town? Sackett's Harbor, New York, where it's now a brewery. So we stopped and waited for the eclipse and entertained ourselves in a manner till the eclipse showed up, and it was fun. So till the drive home, then it was a mess. But anyway, so that's what I got for S-Scale this week. Just try to show you a little bit about what some S-Scalers are modeling. So.
Anybody have any questions for Jamie?
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, I've got a question. I noticed, at least of the modules that I could see, they all had upright legs, but no type of angular support. Does that ever cause an issue of any kind? I suppose that's for ease of assembly, but does they get wobbly or anything?
Usually by the time you get enough of them up there, they kind of stand up by themselves. I just got to think, I know my module with the bridge, the legs are set at an angle.
Ah, okay.
And Simone, who I mean, everybody who ever thought of building a module or maybe just a layout ought to watch Simone take his down, because it is absolutely an engineering work of art. It's he's got the bolts with the hex head, and he runs them out. He runs the screw out with the drill. He folds the leg up, and then he puts the bolt back in to hold the leg in its folded up position. And they're all just, everything fits and it's cut perfectly. I mean, it is literally a work of art. His bench work is amazing. And that's kind of where I got the idea of the slanty legs. He's got a bunch of those. So, but for the most part, I got to think of my other one. No, mine's got my other module has a leg brace, so that's some of them do. So they're the Fremo. It's kind of like you can build whatever you want as long as it's got to be 50 inches off the floor and the track's sort of in the middle, and whatever when it leaves or comes out, whatever your segment is, it's got to made up. But other than that, it's sort of free form. So We didn't really have a benchwork standard as far as how you could do it. So everybody's kind of got their own methodology to put them together.
And then you have to have all have the same attachments for your bus wire, I guess, going around.
Yeah, they've got you know, they make the bus wires in a certain way. And I you know, mine, if you're like for my two pieces, there's just 4 feet of straight track. So I don't need any, like if you got, they specify, you know, again, my group, they specify if you have turnouts, you have to have a circuit breaker and this and that and the other thing. But since I'm just a straight piece of track, I can just gang on with whoever the next person along is. So you know, mine are wired up. I bring them in, they go, okay, hook this one to this and this one to this, and it runs. So,
All right, thanks.
sure.
Greg, this is Phil. Just as a side, I do the ON30 and we set them up, and I was surprised that there were not angular braces. The first module I built, I put angle braces on the legs. When you put them together and you start putting some corners in, they tighten up and get really solid pretty fast.
They hold each other up, I guess.
They end up holding,
Yeah.
but if you're going to set up your module by itself at home,
Yeah.
and it's not a bad idea to have some angle braces for that. So
Yeah,
Got it.
I've maintained for a while that really most modular layouts have twice as many legs as they need. So, you know, the first module you set up needs 4 legs, and after that you could pretty much get away with 2. So,
Anybody else? Jamie, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
See you next time.